All right, peace. Lee, coming at you on behalf of our online metaphysical store, l9shop.com. And press 11 in the chat box if you can hear me and see me fine. Press 11 in the chat box if you can see me and hear me fine. Apologize for the slight delay for those watching the playback, but I will get into it as soon as I know that I'm seen and heard. All right, peace. All right, we good. No more 11s. All right, so let me get into it. So what is want to break that down real quick. And like I said, I'm going to give you a couple ways how you know you're right or wrong. A lot of people come at me and they're like, man, this person did me wrong, or they did something themselves and they don't know if they were in the right or wrong. So I want to make this video. It's something I've been doing for a while, but I've never shared this on YouTube. So you know if you're quote unquote in the right or quote unquote in the wrong. But first, what is karma? And I want to give you a simple definition for karma. Obviously, you can go to Google and look it up. May be confusing after you look that up. So I just want to give you a simple definition of karma. Karma is a universe's balancing mechanism. In simple words, karma is the feedback that you get from doing something. You can also look at karma as cause and effect. If you look at the laws of Tahuti or the Kabbalion, because I did this, this was the effect. Because I showered and used soap and water, the effect is unclean. Because I put an application in, the effect was I got a call back from an employer or whatever. So karma from a simplistic standpoint is just cause and effect. Because you did something, this was the effect. Now, obviously, there's a lot of moving parts because you can do things for a multitude of reasons, and you can have a multitude or more a myriad of outcomes. You can put an application for a multitude of reasons because you need money, because your parents told you to, because your wife is nagging you. You know what I mean? There's many causes why you put in the application. So the effect, there's many effects. You can not get called. You can have someone call, set up an interview. You can have somebody avoid you. You know, so I want you to know that there's many reasons why you do something, and there's many possible outcomes. So how can we tell if we're in the right or wrong when we're doing things? And I think that's probably the most important part now that you know what karma is. And there's two main parts to know if you're in the right when doing anything. It doesn't matter if it's personal, mundane, or spiritual. The first way to know if you're in the right is your intention. What are your intentions? And I'm going to use a kind of a morbid example to illustrate what I'm trying to communicate with y'all today. Is take someone who murdered someone. Say a person murdered someone because they broke into their house. Say they're at the crib chilling. Someone breaks into their house, and the person that broke into their house has a gun, and they threaten to shoot the homeowners. And the homeowner come and defend their life by shooting and immobilizing the intruder. Their intention was not to hurt the person. I mean, their intention was to hurt the person, but their main intention was to protect themselves. And that's the most important part. The effect, what they didn't matter. The cause of why they did it was the most important. They protected their family, they protected themselves, but they feel like they were in harm. Now, let me use another example talking about shooting someone. Say this same person just went out in the street. They were mad. They got in an argument with their wife. And they just went out in the street and they were like, man, the first person I'm going to see, I'm going to put a shell with them. Their intention was to go out and harm someone, but they had no justifiable reason to do that. So you see, two people or one person did the same thing, but the scenario will make it different based on their intent. Example A, the person's intent was to protect their family and themselves. Example B, the person's intent was to intentionally go out and cause harm. So you see the difference between that. So the second part to deal with is knowing if you're right or wrong is, what does your heart say? Your mind, your ego is going to tell you all kinds of things, but what does your heart say? So going back to our scenario, person comes into your crib and you try to diffuse the situation. They have a gun and everything. You don't see anything else you can do except to pop them and immobilize them. So your intention was to protect your family, but now you have to see, what does your heart say? And if you go back through it, you be like, man, I didn't want to hurt nobody. I just wanted to save my family. You know, I really feel like I was justified in my actions. You see what I'm saying? So your intentions were pure. You didn't want to hurt anybody, even though you did, but you hurt somebody to defend yourself. And after that, your heart is at peace because you know there was nothing else you could have done. If you didn't defend yourself, that intruder may have popped you or your family. So your intentions and your heart are pure. Going back to the second example, the person is having an argument with his wife, going out in the street and saying, I'm gonna pop the first person I see. Say they actually go forth with that. We already know their intentions were probably not in the best way, as far as humanity. Their intention was to hurt somebody. Then they actually do it. Now they're gonna feel bad. They're like, man, I should have done that. My emotions got the better of me. Like, how many times have you done something where you thought you were doing the right thing, but you look back, you be like, man, I was, that wasn't justified. And that's what karma is. When you already know the lesson, when you already quote unquote learn the lesson, then the universe doesn't have to put hard lessons in your path. A lot of you are dealing with things that are repetitive because you haven't learned the lesson. And I want you to remember, like what I'm saying in this video. What are your intentions at? Are your intentions pure? You're not going out to hurt anybody. You're doing things out of love, kindness, generosity, all the flowery things that we like to preach about. Where are your intentions when you do such things? Second, what does your heart say? Not your mind, not your ego, because your brain and your ego will try to justify your quote unquote wrongdoings. But your heart will tell you, yes, you're right. No, you're wrong. You know what I mean? It's very simple. Once again, your heart is going to tell you very simply you're right or wrong. It's your mind that makes up all these different things. Last point I'm gonna leave you with is when you look at a child, like I have a 6-year-old child. When you look at a child or any children, or if you remember when you were a child yourself, you used to lie all the time. In fact, there's a documentary showing that how children naturally lie. They stop lying when parents tell them, yo, you can't lie. That's not the truth. But I'm bringing that up to say when children lie, you're not going to get any negative karma from that because they in their mind do not think they're lying. It's justifiable. Their heart is not tainted. It's pure. Just think about that. Think about your children. They lie all the time. They're not going to get any negative karma from that because they're not lying, maliciously. It's only when they get older and they're taught like these lies hurt people. When you lie, you put people in a messed up situation. After they're taught that, now when they get older and they lie, they know they're quote unquote not doing the right thing. Their intentions are wrong because they're intentionally misleading somebody, and they know the outcome from that. They know that's not an ideal way to live. You feel me? So hopefully this information makes sense. Make sure to thumbs up the video. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. Let me see if I got anything popping off. I'll answer a question or two real quick. Make sure that if you want to support me and my workings and what we do, be sure to visit our online website, l9shop.com. That's el9shop.com. Appreciate everybody for coming through and copping from the store. Also appreciate all the love on YouTube. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on. So anybody have any questions talking about what we're talking about? What Jazz, Big John was good, yo. We make customized talismans, one for prosperity and one for protection. Go to l9shop.com, click on magic, and you'll see that. Appreciate you, Adwa. Talking about karma and knowing if you're right or wrong. This is life-changing information. If you're catching this late, highly suggest that you go back, yo. Okay. All right, I don't see any questions. Once again, remember, karma deals with your intentions in your heart. Are you doing intentions? Are you doing things not to hurt anybody? And what does your heart say? Your heart's going to give you the most valuable feedback that you can get. Are your intentions in the right place and what your heart says? That's how you can tell about karma. Another thing, too, is karma doesn't just take into account one lifetime. So the life that you're living today is based on all your previous lifetimes, the decisions you made, the actions you've taken, the thoughts you've had. That is what made you the person that you are today. This explains why you might be going through unfavorable situations because you might have done things that are lifetimes. The main thing is to learn from your mistakes, learn from what you're doing, and just have a lot of self-awareness. That's why it's always called knowledge of self. The more you know yourself, the more you will know if you're in the right or in the wrong. So hopefully this information resonate with you. Make sure to like the video. Visit l9shop.com for your metaphysical tools. Until next time, babes.